Mark chapter 7. The instruction of the forebears. And now some Pharisees and authorities of the law who were from Jerusalem approached Jesus. When they observed some followers of Jesus eating their food with unclean hands, in other words, ritually impure hands, they noted error. For the Pharisees and Jewish people in general do not consume any food unless they cleanse their hands following special prescriptions in the tradition of the forebears. And when they return from the marketplace, they do not consume any food unless they cleanse it first. Similarly, there are many other traditions which they have obtained and watchfully maintain, such as the correct way to clean cups, pots, copper receptacles, and pallets. And so the Pharisees and the authorities of the law asked Jesus, "Why do your followers not follow the instruction handed down by our forebears? They never wash their hands at mealtime." Jesus replied and told them, "O hypocrites, pretenders! Isaiah was absolutely correct when he prophesied concerning you, saying, 'These people approach and honor me with mere speech, but their heart is truly quite distant from me. It is outright useless for them to venerate me or serve me, because they instruct the commandments of men as though they were my commandments. You reject the orders of the Lord God and uphold the traditions of men.'" And Jesus told them, "Certainly you reject God's commandments while maintaining your own tradition. For Moses declared, 'You shall honor your father and honor your mother, and anyone who curses his father or his mother is subject to capital punishment.' But you instruct that if a man possesses something which he could use to assist his parents, father or mother, but says, 'This is korban, this is for God, a present to him,' then he does not need to honor his parents, father or mother. Thus you have disregarded the word of the Lord God while following your own instruction, and you do many things like this all the time." And now Jesus invited the throngs of people and told them, "Listen carefully and grasp thoroughly. It is not what enters a man from outside that defiles him. Rather, it is what proceeds from a man to the outside that defiles him. Whoever has ears that hear, let him hear." When Jesus left the multitude and entered the house, his followers asked him to expound the parable to them. And Jesus told them, "Are you still lacking higher understanding? Do you not grasp the fact that anything that proceeds into a man from outside is not able to defile him? For it does not proceed into his heart or mind, but it goes right into the stomach and is ultimately eliminated. Therefore all foods are purified and may be eaten." And Jesus said, "It is what proceeds from a person, the word of the mouth, originating from the heart, that defiles a person. For from the internal, from a man's heart, arise bad and depraved ideas, killings, fornications, adulteries, thefts and larcenies, slanders or lies, and all kinds of immoral acts, envy, arrogance, indecency, foolishness, and ignorance. All these evil acts proceed from the internal and surely defile a person." Now Jesus proceeded from that place toward the cities of Tyre and Sidon. He went into a building, but he did not want anybody to be aware that he was in the place. Yet he was not able to remain hidden. There was a woman whose daughter was possessed by an evil spirit, and When she heard about Jesus, she came immediately and lowered herself politely at his feet. The lady was Greek, born in Syria, in the Phoenician territory, and she implored Jesus persistently to expel the demon from her daughter. But Jesus replied her, "Let the children eat and be satisfied first, for it is improper to take the food prepared for the children and cast it to the puppies." And the lady replied, "Precisely, Master, but even the puppies beneath the table consume the remnants that drop from the little children." At that point, Jesus told her, "Because of your faith and statement, return home. The demon has already departed from your daughter." Arriving again in her residence, she found that the evil spirit had departed, and her child was resting on the bed. And Jesus left the district of Tyre and Sidon. He went through the interior of the territory on the 10 districts to the Galilean lake. And now the people brought before Jesus a man who was deaf and had difficulty speaking, and they implored Jesus to lay hands on him. Jesus took him away from the massive throng, and he placed his fingers in the deaf man's ears. Next, he spat and touched the man's tongue. Then Jesus looked straight into heaven, and later he sighed and ordered, "Ephata," meaning open. At once the deaf man's ears opened, and his hearing was restored. His tongue was released, and he spoke fluently. Now Jesus ordered them that they should not inform anybody about what they had witnessed. But the more he ordered them and tried to restrain them, the more they spoke about it everywhere. And the people were absolutely amazed and said, "Everything he does perfectly. He even restores hearing to the deaf and speaking to the dumb."